Good day, world. It's T2B with the message to the world. We're going to talk about something that I was just speaking to a friend of mine, and she's older now, and I was telling her about different ministries I was doing and different things I was doing because I haven't been doing my ministry, and she kind of was animated about me. She's like, you should share what you learned with us. I used to be a minister for a group with a lot of women that suffer from dissociative identity disorder, something called DID. She was like, and when I spoke to her, and as an adult, as a child, she didn't know. I was telling her. She asked me like, how did you heal me from this? Because she's a Christian now. This was about 15 years ago when I was messing with her. She was 14 when I was ministering to her. Most of the girls were between 14 and 16. They were from Great Britain. I used to work with this lady. She was very well off. She had houses all over the country. So we used to bring them from Great Britain. A lot of them came to me first, stay at my house, or they'll come to New York and I'll put them in a hotel and I'll just make sure they're safe but basically we were having to hide them from a lot of their fathers were National Guards in Britain. And they were connected. They were like, that's how, they were hacking our Facebooks, hacking our emails, trying to find these women. But I'm just saying that to say she asked me like, I explained to her like what I was doing with her when she was younger. Like, this how she didn't really remember. I was like, this is how I healed you. This is how God healed you, basically. And she told me like, you should start sharing that with people. She like, you never know if somebody can relate to that and it can help them heal themselves. What I discerned is that she was kind of relapsing and she was asking for the tools that I used to give it to her because I haven't been on Facebook in a long time. The main tools with her was it was very serious what I was doing. This was before I came into bed. I've been, at this time I was living like a saint. Like no, like people be like, N.O.vate, drink, and I don't. And sometimes I'll be like, I gotta stop drinking. I just do that for show, just to fix the narrative. But I don't think about stop drinking. I think about resisting my flesh fully. Stop smoking weed, cigarettes. Stop lusting in my flesh. If I'm drinking, I'm doing all them other sins. I ain't really worried about one thing or how people judge me. I'm worried about God. Like I'm trying to get back to the cross. I live a holy life, but I balance it. Like I'll hang with killers and I'll be holy, and they know it. And they'll be like this. They'll be like, he keep us sane. They tell me that. And they protect the hell out of me. Facts. So what I did with her, man, is I'm gonna explain I'm gonna explain some deep things to y'all that you might not know about this world. Very deep. I'm gonna be very deep on this one. This is gonna be one of the first series of this. I'll title it. But with her, man, she has so many altars. I was telling her, like, I just taught them how to communicate. And I reminded her, like, sometimes you'll have an altar that'll come out. And they used to have to come get me to talk to you when you was 14. You would be calling me. She'll go into an altar to where she thought I was her father. And I explained to her and now I'm going to tell you a deep part of her testimony, of her life, about satanic ritual abuse. I explained to her, like, when you told me your story, she told me a story of how they created the compartments in her and how they abused her. She didn't know they were creating compartments, but she told me the story of how they abused her. She was in heavy satanic ritual abuse. And I was back helping them kids. That was all that Hempstead case. That was the first wave. Then it stopped. Then it was another wave about 10 years ago, maybe about 15 years ago, where those children are about 30 or 40 now. Like a lot of people you deal with in music and entertainment and even in battle rap, especially the women, I could see the tattoo. I know they used to put that satanic Baphomet star or either a serpent right on the inside of their wrist, right here. They'll put a tattoo right here somewhere on your forearm. When you see young girls in battle rap and they got that Baphomet star on their forearm right there, they could have been satanic ritual abuse children. The girl I was talking to had I don't want to say too, because I don't want to say too much. We didn't talk about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talk deep. I think she had a Baphomet on her. I knew a lot of women that had that. Some had serpents on their arms. Some had Baphomets, but they all was marked as a child of Satan. She told me that they would. I'll tell you that, but I just had to explain to her, like I had to because there was older ladies. At this time, I was about 40, 35. And there were older ladies over me. So they would message me like, Minister Adams, we need you in the group. We need you in. I was always on standby. We need you in the group. Because I had to keep coming to them positively. I had to be a reoccurring force of stability for them for a reason. So I had to keep coming to them, and I had to show them that I wouldn't turn on them. I had to show that part of their altar. I had to undo the cognitive dissonance that made that altar. Basically, if you understand what I'm saying, you understand the way they made her altar. And this is very deep. This is not a game, what I'm saying to y'all. The way they made her altar, man, when she was 12, I'm gonna go deep on this one. They made her altar by, they would send men, they would tie her to a chair for months, send men in to rape her one day. Just a bunch of men go in there and rape her. And then somebody comes in dressed like Jesus and be like, I'm sorry they did that to you. And the Jesus figure would clean her up. Then they'll come in the next day and beat her up, rape her again. The Jesus figure would come in. I'm so sorry they did that to you. I love you. Then one day that Jesus figure will come in and do her worse than they ever did her. And it'll create a cognitive dissonance. It'll make them snap. It'll create a compartment. So that's why I say I had to be a reoccurring to show her like I'm that light that's not gonna go dark on you. It takes a long time to that. You can't be patient. You can't, if some therapists don't know their patients and they be like, wow, and they try to force them to trust them, it'll never work like that, because that's not the way the cognitive dissonance was created. It was created slowly by somebody that they'll do that to sex. I knew women that were used for sex, man. They'll put them in a room, they'll rape them. They'll have you either a bunny rabbit or somebody dressed like a butterfly. Those were the two sects. There were two different people. Most of them from Great Britain use butterflies. Some of them use bunny rabbits. That's why these women be into butterflies and bunny rabbits, because that's how they created the cognitive dissonance. So what they would do is they would rape them. Then they would send somebody, because they was chill, they'll send somebody dressed in a costume, a bunny costume, or dressed as a butterfly. The Monarch program is why they use the butterfly, the MK Ultra. I know my stuff. I'm not stupid, boy. That's why I be snapping on niggas like y'all don't be knowing who y'all talking to, boy. I'll snap on you in a minute if you judge me, because I know you. And that's why I don't argue back with people, because I'm like, they don't know me. They judging a character that I made up named N.O.vate. They would rape them, bro. Then they'll send the mascot in there dressed as a bunny rabbit or something and be like, oh, I'll clean him up. I'm so sorry he did that to you. I'm so sorry. Cuddle with him, lay with him. They'll do that for a long time and send the bunny rabbit in there, cuddle with him, lay with him. Then one day that bunny rabbit will come in there and abuse them worse than anybody ever have in their damn life. And it'll create, and that person they trusted turning on them like that creates something that the mind can't handle. It basically shows that we were created to be loved. If anything other than that will break us, and we'll kind of compartmentalize it. We'll kind of take on a spiritual, we'll put it in a spiritual place. God says, in my house, there are many mansions. That means God himself can hold many people in himself. He can give you a mansion, and inside of him is all of us. When a child breaks, that kind of attribute kicks in. So we can compartmentalize that pain and put that child within us. And when you grow up, that little child will be in you. And that's what's called an altar. They create altars in people. So I knew one girl, damn, I hate talking about that. The worst one is the one that was SRA, was satanic ritual abuse. They'll have somebody come in dressed like the Pope, and it'll be like, and they'll fight everybody off you. Leave her alone, get away from her. And they'll clean you up, and you'll think this person loves you for a long time. Then one day that Christ figure will beat your ass and kill you, damn near kill you. And it'll make you hate God. They do that to make them, they do that to where it's almost impossible for them to receive God, because they'll do that to them at a young age. Satanic ritual abuse is hell, man. I knew one. This is something the world don't know. I know some stuff. This is why they used to call me, because I used to just see what and they'd be like, he sees deeper. They've been studying all their life. They doctors got degrees. And I'll be like, y'all don't see that? Y'all don't see what the devil doing to them? They'd be like, you see it? They'd be like, oh, that's not even in textbooks. I'm about to tell you something now that's not even in the textbook. What I tell you isn't even, the way I talk isn't even in textbooks, bro. I was teaching therapists how to do this. I was very, but I was living holy. I wasn't this N.O.vate character, y'all. See, I was very humble, very holy, very soft-spoken. That's why it took me, when I first came here, I was talking very soft. Everybody used to be like, why you talk so soft? They'd be like, I know why. Like I'm gay or something. I'd be like, these people crazy. That's when I started getting drunk. Like I got to try to fit in with them. And I forgot I was an alcoholic because I've been sober for so long. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. I used to be an alcoholic. Liquor make me crazy. Everybody know that. It was just when I was in the streets, people were afraid of me, so they never did nothing. I would come outside and people would go in the house. Like, G-Money, he outside drunk, don't go outside. But what I'm saying, I knew one, bro, that when she was young, before she could have kids, they was training her to kill kids. So some kids in SRA, they'll use to have the babies that they use for sacrifices. So she gave birth to and had to kill 12 of her own children. She gave birth to and killed 12. That was the one that had the most altars. She had so many different compartments. I had to name them all. I knew them all. And they didn't know each other. I used to have to, and this is what I told her the other day, because she wanted to know what I was doing with her. I was like, I was teaching your altars how to communicate. So when you message, we used to talk on Messenger. I'm like, when you message me and you in a certain altar, I used to tell you to write down what we say. And you had a book with the altar names. And then you would read the book, and I was teaching your altar, and you was learning how to trust the system. And I was kind of rebuking her dominant altar. She had an altar with some altars can have like a demonic spirit attached to it. You gotta be powerful. You gotta have power in Christ to really mess with them, or you'll hurt them worse. She had that demonic altar attached to her. She had that demonic spirit attached. Usually there's a dominant altar, the one that protects the other altar. And then there's a real humble altar, and that's the one you save them through, the one that cries out. You make that one stronger than the dominant one. You build up the faith of the lesser altar, of the weak altar that defends the system. There's one altar that defends the system, like, leave her alone, leave me alone. Then there's one altar that be like, help me, help me. That's that little quiet altar. I told her I made it stronger. It had a name. I'm not going to say it. It called me Dad. Facts. And then she forgot about that altar, disappeared. She don't even remember it. Don't even remember what I did to her. Jeez. I should have been saving those messages, man. I could have created a science the way I was helping these women. Basically, the way you save somebody with dissociative identity disorder, man, you got to do it very meticulously, and you got to do it very holy. And you gotta lead them. You gotta lead their altars to the light, bro. You gotta explain to their system how God is fair. You gotta just constantly, train them you gotta explain to them, like, when all of that was happening to you, God was keeping you alive for this day, for this moment, so you can walk into the light, and you bring them altars into the light, and they receive Christ one at a time, and that whole system is clean. So I don't care what nobody say about me. I got women that'll come on here and be like, he saved my soul. He brought me to Jesus. Fuck out of here. I'm just backsliding. I'm almost back to my old self, the way I think. I just don't act like I used to. I'm not a shooter. I don't hurt people. But the way I'm thinking, I'm almost back there. So I don't mess with them women no more. But they called me because I put a Facebook. I've been like in and out of my Facebook, and one of them called me. Like, you okay? Like, like, you saved my life. She married now. That was the worst case, man. They doing that all over the world. Man, they doing stuff, bro. Let me tell y'all something deep, bro. So the one, I told you they was training her to kill her kids before she did it. They was desensitizing her to it. You know how they was doing it? They was bringing the aborted fetuses. All of when they did abortions in Britain, the Hempstead case was in this same. Y'all got to study that. The Hempstead children, all them children they was abusing all them kids. And what happened? How them kids? Yeah, same thing. That's the wrong. Sorry, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. That was some hot water. I gotta dry out, sober out. My battle rap career is getting better. I gotta stop this stuff. But they used to make her So what they did is when they aborted the fetuses, they would bring it to them. I told them I knew about that word adrenochrome. I knew how I figured out how they did that by talking to these girls. You know, when they aborting y'all fetuses and they stick it, you know why they do it so gruesome and stick a hanger in them when they could just give them a shot, or they could do it peaceful and they could just abort the baby peacefully. You know why they do it like that? Because they do it like that to scare the shit out the fetus so they can kill it while it's scared, and they drain in the blood. That's how they discovered adrenochrome. That's they get it from that. That's why they addicted to abortion, because they get their drug from that. This world is ran by dope fiends. That drug got them crazier than a dope fiend. This world is ran by literal dope fiends. That's why it's falling to hell. They sticking that hanger in the baby, scaring the shit out the fetus. They kill it, and that baby dies with that adrenaline in his blood. Then they take the woman's fluid and they do some shit with the fluid you don't know about. They take some places take the fetuses to satanic ritual abuse, and they sacrifice the baby twice. They teach the kids how to sacrifice, and they desensitize. They make them kill the fetus. Kill aborted fetus, just so when they have babies, they'll be ready to kill their own babies or sacrifice their own kids. They did that to one of them. And by her telling me her story, I peeped out like, yo, God just showed me like that's how they found all that satanic ritual abuse, abusing them kids when they dying, drinking their blood. They stumbled upon that if they kill them, if they can kill a child in a deep state of fear, they can get high off the adrenaline. It's worse than heroin. They dope fiends. The world is ran by dope fiends, bro. Tell me I'm not deep. I might stop this. I only want to go 20 minutes. So that's what they did to them. They used to bring the fetuses from the abortion clinics. And they'll train the kids to kill the babies. Man, Great Britain, that place wicked as hell, boy. I'm telling you, man. And all these women, their fathers were palace guards. And they were they were looking for them. They were obsessed over them. They don't let you go. That's why when we see stuff like TikTok challenges, and it'd be like one person that died. You know how the challenges always got that underlying danger to it, to where like 1 or 2 people can die? That's how the devil is. He don't give a fuck if 10,000 don't die, if he can kill that one person. That's how desperate he is. That's how dangerous and evil those little challenges they do. Every TikTok challenge since its inception has that underlying possibility that you can die doing this. And people do die. And the devil be like, we just don't notice it because so many don't die. But the devil be like, I just want that one. Just like God say, I'll turn from the 99 for one. The devil say, I just want to kill one. He invert everything God do, he inverted. Jeez, I be deep, my nigga. I be tearing up. Cause it's like, I just know this shit is real. This shit just moves my soul, bro. I'm a cool ass person, my nigga. I just be getting drunk as hell online, bro. People got me very wrong. And I really don't care because I know God this much. That's why I'm like the way I am. I said I'm gonna make a channel. Watch, God, I'm gonna slowly tell them who I am. They'll see. And all the ones that then I'll know. When I get to where I need to be, I'll know. Like, yeah, bro. Gotta watch people. Jesus say, I entrusted myself to no man. He say, I know what's in all men. So that was my heart. I almost just said her name. Only reason I don't say her name because we online, and I know she was dealing with some demonic. I shouldn't even be telling people when I start getting these battles. I'm not gonna be telling these people. These people demonic. I see their spirits in my dream. I know the ones that's demonic and into witchcraft. You tell these people your stuff, man. The spirits will go ahead of you and try to block your blessing, bro. So that's how you, and that's how you. If you know somebody like that, that's better than. I'm sorry, y'all. I gotta groom better. Let me plug my phone up. I've been writing this battle. I've been heavy into this battle. I'm not gonna really go into the I'm not gonna really go outside. I've been in the dungeon, man. Really working hard on these battles. I got a Gates of the Gardens battle on the 29th, man. I'm not gonna let them down. I'm gonna be better than the top tiers. What I wrote and the way I found a new delivery. The way I'm gonna say it, I'm going back to my original delivery, my first battle. I had a funny delivery, bro. N.O.vate versus Joey Fresh. It didn't work but it's gonna work on the stage. Niggas told me like that delivery ain't good. I used to make music. People used to tell me like, "Yo, such and such saying that you can't even rap to a beat." Niggas ain't even bring me on songs because this nigga was going around saying that he. Let me not do that. This video is for. I'll talk about that in another video. This video was just like ministry, like just sharing. I'm gonna share more stuff like this about this group. It was a beautiful group, man. But it was very. But those are some beautiful people. If you know, a lot of people been through pain, man. A lot of people don't realize they have alters. Like a lot of the girls self-harm themselves. A lot of them cut and self-harm. That's another thing that I helped them. I could have opened all types of doors to therapy with, because I understood that the therapists didn't understand why they was doing what they were doing. They were constantly ministering to them, but they weren't making them aware of themselves. It's almost like cooking for a person and not really teaching them how to cook. Like I'm like, y'all could teach them and teach them how to heal themselves. And that's why she called me back, because they knew I was like that. Like, he'll teach you how to heal yourself. And the reason I do it and the way I do it is by making you aware of what the devil is doing to you. And it shows you how real he is. Then that shows them how real God is. And that presented a choice to them. Like, which way do I want to go? Some hurt people hurt people. Some hurt people help people. Some hurt people hurt themselves because they just want to experience that pain. So when a hurt person hurt them, I used to tell them, like, bro, that's their way. They're trying. I mean, we look at it like they don't love themselves. The world is so backwards, and this area is so sensitive. We look at it like they don't love themselves. They self-harming, but actually they self-harming because they trying to love themselves. So that again shows us that God made us to be loved. It's just what's making them self-harm is the pain from when they was a child. But since they were children and they interpreted that pain as love, as adults, the only way to experience love is through pain. That means God made us to be loved in such a deep way that if someone hurts a child, that child will force their mind to interpret that pain as love. And through that abuse, they will either seek to be loved by someone that's going to hurt them, or they'll seek to hurt themselves, but they'll be looking for that gratification of love and pain because pain was inflicted upon them by someone that should have loved them. That's how God made us. God told Moses, he told Moses, you're going to be, no, he told Aaron. I think he told Aaron, he told Moses, he's going to speak for you, but you're going to be God for him. Like, God makes us like that to where a parent is, even before we know God, our internal nature interprets a parent as a God figure, or interprets the person that has parental control, the person that we look to. Like, man, a monkey will cling to the bottom of a cat if that cat was the first thing the monkey seen. You know what I mean? So so I just say that to say a child can be under someone that doesn't love them at all. But that first connection that child make is going to imprint upon that person as, this is the person that's supposed to love me. This is the person that's supposed to love me. And if that person hurts them, they're going to interpret love as pain. That's why people self-harm. They aren't hating themselves. They're trying to love themselves. And once you explain that, it teaches them how to love themselves in different ways. You teach them how to create. You teach them how to create things, how to see things manifest that are beautiful and not just always see a painful end result. And you do it meticulously and you do it over and over because what happened to them was done over and over. And there's people like that in battle rap. I bet some of these battle rappers know these women. There's women like that in battle rap, man. That could, if a woman say she can go into I can go into Sasha Fierce. If a woman even has the knowledge to even say that, she understands what an altar is. And she's been in the realm of playing with demonic power, whether they know it or not. Yeah, the devil is desperate, man. He's desperate to get us, bro. But God is merciful, ain't he? Won't he do it? N.O.vate. I said 20 minutes. I'm gonna do another one like this later. I'm gonna talk about something else. But this is Vol.1, man. N.O.vate rant. Life topics. Vol.1. Peace.